Welcome to Whyte Dog Academy, where they take all aspects of your dog into consideration for training, boarding, and daycare.
Hey everybody, it's Mo and I'm here with Joshua Whyte of Whyte Dog Academy here in Joplin, and you offer all kinds of options for dogs. So I would like to get started first with what is it that you do?
So we do training, boarding, daycare, and we do minimal grooming. So we don't have a groomer on staff right now as far as doing the full cuts and all of that, but we do nail trims and that.
Very cool. And your facility is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Will you tell me a little bit about the process of getting all of this together? And you're 3 weeks open right now, right?
We're into our fourth, yeah, but yeah, it's new.
Also, the facility that you'll see here soon, it smells like a gym. It smells so clean, and it's just gorgeous. So will you explain a little bit about what you were thinking behind all that?
Well, so I've worked for every possible type of facility that you can imagine, the hole in the wall and the 5-star luxury Ritz-Carlton type of hotel for dogs. And I've taken a little bit from all of it. And I've learned a lot what not to do, and I've learned a lot about what to do. And so I've kind of taken all of that and put it together into an image that is now Whyte Dog Academy. And it's basically an image that is based off of the health and the well-being of the dog. So that, your smell that you smell is cleanliness.
Yeah.
We take cleanliness very seriously, and not just of the dog, but of the facility and in every environment that the dog comes in.
Yeah, and it makes such a huge difference because, like you said, whenever I arrived, we were just chatting briefly, you want to feel really good about where you're dropping your dog off, because if you, I love my dog, I'm a little extra, and I feel that same way. I really want to feel like he's having an enriching experience, which you emphasize here. Can you talk about the behavior side of things?
Sure. So along with the cleanliness, the huge part of behavior with dogs is not just physical, but mental as well. And so at a daycare or even a boarding facility, you want your dog to get physical exercise, but that only goes so far. You can run a dog 3 miles every single day, but what you realize is that after the dog conditions to that, they now need 4 miles.
Yeah.
And so the physical exercise aspect is only a part of it. And the mental stimulation that you can give a dog at a daycare or at a boarding facility, I feel like has fallen short in a lot of areas with places that I've worked. And so one thing that we have really emphasized here is making sure that we look at the individual dog that we're working with, or the dog that's dropped off, and find out what they need. We look at the breed. What is that breed designed to do? We try to give that dog that thing to do.
Yeah.
And so a large portion of the dogs that come in here, we're looking at their specific behavior and then trying to make sure that that behavior is curbed, because a lot of the owners are seeing these behaviors surface in unproductive ways. So we give them productive ways to kind of have an outlet for that.
Can you talk about the behavior side of things?
Sure. So along with the cleanliness, the huge part of behavior with dogs is not just physical, but mental as well. And so at a daycare or even a boarding facility, you want your dog to get physical exercise, but that only goes so far. You can run a dog 3 miles every single day, but what you realize is that after the dog conditions to that, they now need 4 miles.
Yeah.
And so the physical exercise aspect is only a part of it. And the mental stimulation that you can give a dog at a daycare or at a boarding facility, I feel like has fallen short in a lot of areas with places that I've worked. And so one thing that we have really emphasized here is making sure that we look at the individual dog that we're working with, or the dog that's dropped off, and find out what they need. We look at the breed. What is that breed designed to do? We try to give that dog that thing to do.
Yeah.
And so a large portion of the dogs that come in here, we're looking at their specific behavior and then trying to make sure that that behavior is curbed, because a lot of the owners are seeing these behaviors surface in unproductive ways. So we give them productive ways to kind of have an outlet for that behavior.
Yeah, and I love that so much too, because I think, you were talking about the training piece of it earlier, and that's different than the boarding or the daycare. However, when dogs come here, they do get the benefit of the way that you believe a dog should have an experience in terms of the environment. So that training kind of rubs off, which is a great thing. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, so as far as when the dog is here, we have certain rules and expectations just to kind of keep the peace around here.
Yeah.
And so we don't allow dogs running through doorways. We don't allow dogs that are mounting other dogs and being rude, rude, destructive, and annoying behaviors is kind of what we're talking about.
And it goes home.
Yeah. And so our goal is that in a way, when a dog is dropped off here, that when they go home, they behave better.
Yeah.
Either equal or better, right? No worse.
No worse.
And a free-for-all type of play environment can create bad behaviors.
Yeah.
And so I don't ever want to be working with a client and training that dog of a behavior that my facility created.
Yeah.
And so a huge part of our idea here is that the dogs have an expectation of behavior within reason. Obviously, if the dog's never been trained to lie down, we don't make them lie down, that kind of thing. But a dog can very easily learn not to rush through doorways.
Yeah.
A dog can learn very easily to wait until their name is called so that they can come in. And
that's amazing.
And something that we actually didn't talk about is our facility is a large portion an off-leash facility. Mm-hmm. So a large portion of our dogs, we don't have to put a leash on to move to another location.
That's amazing.
Because the dogs learn our routine and our schedules, we're able to just open the door. They know where their kennel is. They go to it because they enjoy their kennel.
Yeah.
And it's not a cage. It's it's got a dog bed and their food and their water and everything.
Yeah.
So they enjoy being there when they want to rest, and then when it's time to go run and play, they know where to go, and that's where they want to be.
Which is probably why it smells so clean in here too, because you really do have them on a routine. You're not just randomly letting them in and out. And
yeah. So since we've opened, we are 3 weeks now open, and we've had probably 400 dogs come through here in 3 weeks. Yeah. And we've only had 2 poop accidents.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's amazing.
And we've designed this in a way in which that the dogs, a couple things. A, they have plenty of opportunities to go outside. So you're not going to regress in potty training when your dog is here. Yeah. Matter of fact, the 2 accidents that we had was a puppy that was in potty training.
Oh, still learning.
Yeah, still learning. So, and then we've had 3 accidents, 2 of which was the same puppy.
Yeah.
The other one was a male unneutered dog that hiked his leg.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we can get a little bit of a pass on all of those.
Yeah, I think so too.
But anyways, the process of getting them on a routine does a couple things. It gives them plenty of opportunity to go outside and do their business. Yeah. As well as it teaches them that they will have the opportunity. Yeah. And that's a huge one. Because if a dog knows, hey, if I just kind of hold off for a little bit, I know I'm about to get to go out, then they don't want to go where they sleep. Dogs are naturally clean animals, believe it or not, despite how your dog may smell. Yeah. They don't want to go where they sleep or where they eat and all that kind of stuff. So if they know that the opportunity is going to come up, they're going to hold it. Yeah, which is another reason why you don't smell pee and poop when you walk into a facility.
It's so amazing. And I love what you mentioned earlier too about you don't want to create training problems because of the facility that you're in, because how many of you watching right now have taken your dog to daycare and then you have a separate trainer, because this isn't always something that you're a one-stop shop. Not everybody does that. And so a daycare potentially has not the same structure as what you have. So you kind of get those teachings derailed a little bit. So it's a constant cycle of learn and relearn, learn and relearn, and they don't have that. Right. It's so amazing.
Our daycare, the way that it's designed is the people who are responsible for the dogs in daycare are what we don't call them daycare attendants, we call them enrichment coaches. Oh, and it's because their task is to make sure that while the dog is here, it is physically and mentally stimulated in a way which is productive. Yeah. And so that is not an entry-level job here. Yeah. It requires significant training in order to be able to do that effectively and safely. Yeah. So the time in which that they're here, it's not just somebody that we hired and off the street that is responsible for your dog. We have trained and educated staff here.
That's amazing. Gosh, well, I mean, you need to check this place out. We want to know where to find you, all the details, what we need to know. So if we want to take our dog here, we can.
Yeah, we are on Fur Road, 26230 on Fur Road. And we are next to the Discount Express store. Some people may know it as the Old Sue's. Yeah. That's what almost everybody says. Oh, you're next to the Old Sue's. Yeah. So that's where we're at on Fur Road, almost into Carl Junction, technically Joplin. Yeah. One side of the road is Carl, and the other side is Joplin. So that's where we're at.
Perfect. Anywhere online they can find you?
Facebook. We started a YouTube until we started this process, and the YouTube's kind of been put on the back burner. But we are planning on getting that back up and running. Awesome. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the things.
Awesome. So boarding, training, enriching, some light grooming. Did I miss anything?
No, that's pretty good.
Okay, cool. You guys can do it right here in Joplin. Thank you so much for being a member. Thank you for having me. And thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our next video.